Alright, I'm going to be reading from this document. The International System of Units. Contents. Thunder coming. Preface to the 9th edition. 122. Introduction. 125. The SI and the defining constants. Motivation for the use of defining constants to define the SI. Implementation of the SI. The International System of Units. Defining the unit of a quantity. Definition of the SI. The nature of the 7 defining constants. Definitions of the SI units. Base units. Practical realization of SI units. Dimensions of quantities. Derived units. Units for quantities that describe biological and physiological effects. SI units in the framework of the general theory of relativity. Decimal multiples and submultiples of SI units. Non-SI units that are accepted for use with the SI. Writing unit symbols and names and expressing the value of quantities. Actually, I have to pause this real quick. My sister called me on the phone. I had to pick it up. Okay. Decimal multiples and submultiples of SI units. Non-SI units that are accepted for use with the SI. Writing unit symbols and names and expressing the values of quantities. The use of unit symbols and quantities. Unit symbols. Unit names. Rules and style conventions for expressing values of quantities. Value and numerical value of a quantity and the use of quantity calculus. Quantity symbols and unit symbols. Formatting the value of a quantity. Formatting numbers in the decimal marker. Expressing the measurement uncertainty in the value of a quantity. Multiplying or dividing unit symbols, the values of quantities or numbers, stating quantity values being pure numbers, plane angles, solid angles, and phase angles. Appendix 1, decisions of the CGPM and the CIPM. Appendix 2, practical realization of the definitions of some important units. Appendix 3, units for photochemical and photobiological quantities. Appendix 4, historical notes on the development of the International System of Units and its base units. Part 1, the historical development of the realization of SI units. Part 2, the historical development of the international system. Part 3, historical perspective on the base units. List of acronyms, index. Okay, so this is the table of contents that I read.